Welcome back to the channel. This is S.O.G, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the ShellTech ammunition from Shell Shock Technologies. Now, just to be fair, they did send this out for us to review, test, and compare, but that will not hinder any of my personal opinions and thoughts. I will keep it 100% real and honest with you guys about my thoughts on this ammunition. Now, before we begin, though, because we're dealing with some ammunition, I did want to mention that everything will be filmed in a safe environment, and this is for educational purposes only. Now, as far as the pricing goes on these, we're going to start with your hollow points. The Federal Premium HST, this is priced at $33 for a box of 20. That's equivalent to $1.65 per round. Critical Defense by Hornady is priced at $27 for a box of 25, and that's equivalent to $1.08. And ShellTech, this is going on their website. If you look for the Nosler ASP, that's going for $22 for the box of 20, and that's equivalent to $1.10. So out of all of these, the best deal you're going to get is the Critical Defense and then ShellTech right behind. And moving over to the FMJ side, Blazer is going for about $12 a box of 50, which is about 24 cents a round. And the FMJs from ShellTech are going for $23 for a bag of 50, which is equivalent to about 44 or 45 cents per round. So significantly more expensive. I'd love to see the price drop on these, and I'd love to see them make something with brass casings instead of steel casing, just because you can't really shoot these indoor. A lot of indoor ranges won't allow you to shoot steel, and I think that could affect their popularity because these are aimed more towards competition shooting and outdoor shooting. So would love to see the price drop a little bit, and would love to see these in brass as well. Now we're going to go ahead and test the weight on these bullets here, and we're going to set the scale to grams, so we're going to see exactly what they weigh. We have the ShellTech FMJ, Blazer Brass FMJ, and then we have the three hollow points here, starting with ShellTech, then we have Hornady and Federal HST. So let's start with the FMJs. We're going to take this ShellTech bullet, and it is at 10 grams compared to the Blazer Brass. You're at 11 grams. So it is lighter than Blazer, 12 grams, 11 and a half, somewhere around there. So about 1.5 grams to 2 grams lighter than Blazer Brass. And then taking a look at the hollow points, we're going to start again with your ShellTech. Same weight as the FMJ, 10 grams. And let's compare that to the Critical Defense by Hornady. You're at 12 grams for Critical Defense, 11, 12, about the same. Now, keep in mind, though, this is 124 grain and this is 115 grain. So you got 1 gram, 1.5, 2 grams lighter than 115 grain Hornady. And then we have Federal HST here. And this one is, again, at just around 12 grams. So 12 grams exactly for Federal HST. So this is a lighter round than both Critical Defense at 115 grain and the Federal HST 124 grain. And then your FMJ is lighter than your Blazer Brass, and both are 115 grain. Some of the key features on this ammunition is that it is completely made in the USA, so that's a huge plus. They're also claiming that it's lighter, faster, more accurate, and that you're able to reload these. So once you're done shooting them, not only can you pick them off the ground, but you could magnetically pick these up and reload them and use them again. So a lot of good benefits out of this ammunition. And what we're going to compare this to, the FMJs, is going to be what I typically use at the range, which is Blazer ammunition, 115 grain. And what they sent out as far as their FMJs, these are also 115 grain. When we come down and take a look at the hollow points they sent out, now these are going to be 124 grain hollow points, and this is kind of what they look like, as you guys can see here. And we're going to compare the hollow points to some popular brands out there. We're going to compare it to Critical Defense by Hornady. These are 115 grain. And then we're also going to compare it to the Federal HST, and these are 124 grain. So we'll compare to both of those and see how they perform. Now, what we're going to use to test those out is going to be CZ. The reason we're going to use CZ is because this is a very popular size and very popular handgun just for a lot of people. Now, this is a non-ported version of the CZ. And another reason we are going to test with that CZ P10C is because I also want to test with a ported version. So we're going to see how this ammunition runs ported and non-ported. And I've got one of each. So lucky for us, we're going to test out on a ported and non-ported gun and see exactly how it performs. are back from the range. And obviously, as you guys saw, we didn't have any equipment to test velocity or energy coming out through the muzzle. But I think it was pretty evident that ShellTech definitely packs a punch, and it is very, very reliable. We shot close to 200 rounds with zero reliability issues. Everything fed perfectly fine. I even had a critical defense jam up before ShellTech, and I had, like I said, I had no issues with FMJs or the hollow points from ShellTech. In terms of felt recoil, it felt identical to Federal HST. It had a little bit more of a fireball effect. I'm not sure why that is, but again, it was pretty evident in the video I showed you guys. But it felt identical to the Federal HST. As far as the accuracy goes, definitely I can tell you guys it is more accurate than both critical defense and the Federal HST. Not by much, but I noticed it. Groupings were a lot tighter. It's weird though, because the groupings were tighter with the FMJs, not so much with the hollow points. Hollow points were the same all across the board in terms of accuracy. We shot about 10 yards out. And then with the FMJs, I did notice tighter groupings with the FMJs. So not sure why that is, but they did stand up to what they were claiming. As far as the speed, again, I didn't have any equipment to test the velocity, but they felt really good. It is an ammunition that I would love to see continue to grow. And one of the things I will say is I would love to see them make some brass ammunition for the range, some FMJs. Like I said previously, watching these guys, build their company and continue to release these innovative type of ammunition casings and whatnot. I'd love to see them go mainstream. I'd love to see them reduce the price and give us some brass, just because it was a little tough to get into some indoor ranges to shoot steel casings. And I think that's going to be an issue moving forward. So as much ammo as we could really have from steel, if you're an indoor shooter, it's not going to really do you any good, because a lot of places won't let you shoot steel, and they'll prefer brass. But again, if they can make something out of brass and drop the price to where it's pretty close to the competition, especially being a new ammo manufacturer that's on the rise, I think that would serve them very, very well, because, like I said, in terms of reliability, perfectly fine. In terms of presentation and all of that good stuff, everything is on point. Everything was really good. I really enjoyed shooting with the ShellTech ammunition. However, again, the price point and the fact that there's no brass FMJs, I think that's their biggest. I don't want to say miss, but I think that's their biggest improvement, I would say, moving forward. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you guys learned a little bit about ShellTech technologies and their ammunition. But until the next one, hit the like button, drop a comment down below about your thoughts on ShellTech, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you already have, I appreciate you guys so much. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.